We got a gag tonight. Oh my goodness. Let's get into it. Some people are quite literally obsessed. Hello, welcome. Hi, Dragon. Hi, Megan. Somebody stealing your name. Somebody stole your name. You see how desperate people is? Like, you know, that is so... Y'all go into the all out. People will literally copy everything. People will literally copy. I was literally channeling this on my way here. I ain't gonna worry about it. Don't even worry about it because you keep getting accelerations in their face. You keep getting accelerations in their face. People, they find a gorgeous girl with a great life path and they will try to harness and siphon and try to swap destinies with her and try to use her for character development. They had somebody bigger than you. These people are out of control. That's exactly, listen, y'all, I'll have to tell y'all more about this attack that happened to me a couple of years, how I literally went into a mental breakdown because of some hidden motives that people have had, trying to attack wealth, trying to attack your luck, trying to attack your pizzazz, trying to take a part of your aura and your essence, trying to take your whole name. Friend, please go get the trademark and send them a cease and desist. Okay, that's what I have for that one, friend. That's why we stay in our own lane. This destiny swapping, if it has, listen, you don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. You can get their whole shit shut down. Play with me if you want to. Just go ahead. I'll keep an eye on them. I have to find them. Okay? I have to find them. Because that's your name, right? Is a part of your essence. Right? It represents your aura. It represents what you stand for. I feel like the conflicts that people are trying to rile up with you in the collective, these people are so insecure in their dynamic with you. These people, the conflicts are starting to get personal. This is a big confirmation. I think, was it you? I know I had seen a topic of destiny swapping somewhere, but I couldn't remember if it was you because I've just watched another video that came across my timeline that was talking about this, and I took a lot of notes from it. That's why we're going to get into this right now, because I was getting mostly for romantic partners, but other people like adversarial energy, I was channeling that as well, because a lot of these people are, and even like people who are family members. And I think you recently talked about this in a reading, like that there's a family member that you had to deal with and they wanted to knock all the wheels off your chariot. I'm sorry. I've been hollering about that all day, Megan. It's definitely a theme right now. The bad thing about it, what I've been learning about this destiny swap, what I've been learning about this destiny swapping that's been going on is that a lot of these people, they don't see where you have gone through to get to this point. They don't see how hard you rode that motherfucking chariot. They don't see all of the negatives, all of the shadow aspects that comes with destiny swapping. These are people who don't want to work for their own development. They want to steal essence and aura from other people. Some of these people are quite literally out here stealing your personal belongings, theft, stealing wealth, because they are so obsessed with your essence, your luck, your pizzazz. Some of you guys, you are very lucky when it comes to making money, finding money. You keep getting accelerations and growth. But the consequences of this destiny swapping is major. This is not going to sit well with the ancestors. This is not going to sit well within the laws of the universe, because these people, they don't realize that a part of them swapping this destiny is that they're now going to struggle with everything that you went through before you got on your life path. Some of these people, the tables are quite literally turning in front of your face. I'm hearing that when they thought that you were going to be the victim, they thought that you were going to be the one with the short end of the stick. These are people who are struggling with an intense insecurity since leaving. Friends, family, a lot of you guys, you have compassion for these people, especially your romantic partners. But the fact that these people, they have not been trusting, they've been struggling with their insecurities. I feel like the biggest thing, the theme that I've seen, whether these are negative adversaries that's been wanting to destiny swap, or whether this is romantic partners that want to siphon you for your inner and outer beauty. What I'm seeing is that a lot of these people, for one, a lot of them are coming around y'all with hidden motives. Especially these family members. You are gorgeous aura, gorgeous lives, gorgeous aesthetics, gorgeous backgrounds, gorgeous environments. A lot of these people just want to come in and distract you because they know that you are guided and directed, focusing, having a lot of prosperity in your 10th house, in your career, success. They are the ones that, what I find, the commonality is that these people who want to swap destinies with you, they are not working for it. They don't deserve it. Some of them, they refuse to go with the flow and say yes. They are not flexible and adaptable like you are. They're not trusting. They have third eye chakra blockages. And they just want to attach onto you to be their guide. Going so far as to stealing someone's entire life and their name and their, like, they want your energy. That's the issue. They want to be magnetic like you. They want to have fun like you. They want access to amazing things without earning it. We don't care how many subscribers you have. 170,000 people here today, gone tomorrow. Up today, flop tomorrow. Nothing is guaranteed. A lot of these people, the consequences. Sorry, y'all, this hair. I am just so cheap. I just be wanting to get the last little bit out of everything. Hello, dear. How are you doing? I'm doing well. How are you? Hey, but still, is it a chance to fix it? What do you mean? Is it a chance to fix the relationships with these people who siphoned you, who wanted to, you went through a cycle of them, you know, not saying yes, not going with the flow? I'm not going to say that these people have, I definitely sense that for a lot of you guys, that these are romantic partners. They want to have that exy time with you a lot. If these are romantic partners, these people are very obsessed with your body. They cannot stop desiring you. But these people who have not been fully, this cycle of them, you will have to be very patient with these people. This is not like something where they are trusting of the feelings. These people are very insecure and impatient. Maybe even some of them were rushing you. These people have not had a secure attachment with you, where there's a healthy dynamic that can function. They're not capable of feeling safe. They're not feeling understood. They're not capable of forming strong and trusting relationships. Some of these people, they want to come back to you after all the other options fell through. Your affirmation: I am not meant to be a secondary choice. I am not a hobby or just something to do. I matter. I am a priority. A lot of these people, like I said, they're not able to go with the sacred flow of yes. They're not able to compose, like, something about them. They have, like, especially if you've been living with some of these partners, or you've had, you know, you've been protective, a protective caretaker for some of these people. These people have been extremely, they show significant distress when you leave. And they are not able to compose themselves when you return. These people choose to dwell at the south end. These people choose to dwell in the sacred flow of no, in the sacred flow of insecurity, impatience, not making the correct decision to trust. They have not been reliable. They have not been committed. It's because of their own poor self-image. And these relationships you might even look at them when having a history of failed relationships, and clearly this person has been in conflict with all of these individuals because they are so lacking of trust. She copes with a borderline thing. Mental health issues for sure. These people, what's your profession? I'm a student. These people are fearful of esoteric knowledge. People are fearful of intelligence. People are fearful of comprehension of their own success, of thriving. A lot of these people, you could clearly see that they're failures in life. It's a gamble with you, right? And they're like very untrusting and unsure. You know that you represent their abundance. You know that you are the option of true love. You know that you represent them returning from failure, getting redirected in their lives. But they are not trusting. Some of you guys in this cycle of them siphoning, right? Using you for character development. Some of you guys just don't, it is not your responsibility to teach. It is not your responsibility to carry the burden of somebody else's inability to take responsibility for their own behavior and well-being. A lot of these people they're not emotionally resilient, and they feel so left, feeling rejected and abandoned because of their own choices and projecting their toxic expectations onto you. You guys have not been successfully coping with these challenges, conflicts, and setbacks. Yeah, a part of it could be like, okay, have compassion for them, because you know that they're struggling with mental health illness. These people feel so abandoned by you. They definitely feel abandoned by you. I think it's best for you to take away your need to save them. It's not about abandoning someone. It's about they are not fulfilling. The dynamic with them is not fulfilling, and you need someone who's already, I'm not going to say they need to be fully, already have done this work on themselves, struggling with secure attachments, but it's definitely, their significant distress is like maybe even causing you distress, or they are not fulfilling. They're treating this as like a hobby, as this is something that is not a priority. So you have to teach people. You have to show people how to treat you. You have to show them better than you can tell them. Now they're the ones, like the tables are definitely turning, because the more it's just, they're choosing to dwell somewhere else. They're choosing to aimlessly drift. They're choosing not to forgive. They're choosing to hold on to resentment. They are not emotionally resilient. And this may reflect, a bigger level of compatibility in your relationship. I definitely feel like you can move on without feeling guilty for doing so. You know that these people are going to suffer. Some of you actually did, return the hurt for this destiny swapping that they tried to do. Some of them intentionally tried to swap destinies with you. Some of them intentionally tried to siphon you, harvest your energy, because a part of this was them not trusting that this was a true love. This was not trusting. They were not trusting in this relationship. A lot of this was they have been in an incessant need to control, and they have literally been you have been their protector. You have been their nurturing caretaker. This person is not, fit for making their own decisions. This person does not have authority over their own, integrity and spirit. Some of these people, they have a history of failed relationships, and you know that they are not proper in leading the dynamic. This person has been in a power struggle with you. They have been obsessing about control. They have been, even if you haven't even heard about them, these people, because of their incessant need for control and them trying to disempower you with neglect and disempower you with, you know, not being reliable, and some of them even cause you to feel unsafe, and you know, you don't feel understood. You're not fulfilled by these people. I know you still may be attached to some positive emotional experiences that you may have had, but because this person has been showing so much distress, this feels like they are needing to go and dwell somewhere else where they feel more secure. This is unsafe for you to be in a relationship and a dynamic with someone who does not feel secure, because they're likely to do all kinds of things with their insecurity projections. You guys are coming from different origins and frequencies anyway. I'm quite confused because I'm coping with this too. You will definitely feel it too. It's not that you will not feel, because they're choosing to dwell somewhere else that they feel more secure, right? They feel like, I definitely feel like as you get more clarity, you will move into like trusting your new realities, trusting your path forward, because they're clearly in a conflict. You're not the one that is you're not the one that is persisting in conflict. They are, right? Yeah, it hurts because they have been hiding behind facades and conflict when they've really been in a power struggle and feeling not had a secure attachment in your dynamic. This person is dealing with something very unconscious. So there has not been a spiritual new beginning. This is not anything that you need to invest in or waste your time in, okay? Some of them, they don't, they're very aware of their decision making. Okay? I have been trying to get the answer of a question that can a student be against a teacher, and what are the rights of the teacher for his students? I definitely feel like there could be a student against a teacher and vice versa. There is, I've seen it a lot, especially when, they're like with this Pluto energy, there could be a power struggle between a student and a teacher. I have just been giving this a lot of thought because I've been thinking about some of my relationships with some of my teachers who've taught me valuable lessons around my craft and my interest, and realized that I oftentimes outgrow my teachers. I outgrow my people who I learned from previously. Some of this is growing in a direction that they were never going in the first place. And also some of it turns out to be a power struggle between me and my teacher. Well, I'm no longer learning from you. That doesn't mean that I don't respect the wisdom and skills that you have honed within me. The love will never die. But I definitely feel like people in an insubordinate position who have a poor self-image and cannot, and even if they're not, even if it's vice versa, if it's the teacher, right, and they see their student outgrowing themselves, becoming the master, no longer in the apprenticeship, it can go both ways, right? If one person in dynamic is not successful and not intending on being successful, especially like as a student, they have a very poor self-image of themselves and coming from a different origin and frequency. These people will be, it can be a conflict, I think, for sure. Okay, I hope that answers your question. I'm quite confused. Okay, we said that one already. Okay, shaking my head, oh man, shit, I feel you. I have been trying to get the answer of the question. Yes, I answered. Okay, you speak almost, okay, as my, same thing as my girl, shake my head crazy. Yes, I have been trying to get the answer. Okay, yes, I got your question. She doesn't want to be in a relationship before we meet and hook up. She doesn't want to be in a relationship before we meet and hook up. Okay, watch your language, please, Sonny. Eric, I definitely think that's like a boundary, and if you haven't met someone yet, if this is like a pen pal or something that is um like a pen pal, or this is someone like a, that you haven't met in person yet, I definitely think it's great for you to, you know, keep your stay in freedom before you meet someone, and learn more about your compatibility and learn more about your exy time. Okay. Right. So maybe that, take one step at a time and don't rush commitments, especially if this person doesn't feel like they can keep that commitment. Maybe they feel like, a lot of, let's be real, having sex can be considered a necessity, right? That's why a lot of people struggle in their relationships, because of sex compatibility. If you are not attracted to your partner, then you will be likely to cheat on them. If you can't, keep a, attraction going, or if the, you don't know if the physical intimacy, the chemistry is there, then why would you commit yourself to something that you probably cannot fulfill? Okay, if that makes sense. I don't know. Does that make sense? Man, you are a good advisor. Can I get your WhatsApp contact? I do have my Google Voice number attached somewhere. Okay. Nick on stream. Who is Nick? Okay. Time to go, Sonny. Please leave. SEX is to make babies. Well, procreation and reproduction is a very base level engagement. It's related to our root chakra, and relates to our security, I believe. It is not just for fun. I agree. It's not just for fun. It is to create a nurturing and safe environment. Amen. Okay. So you're definitely dealing with a lot of people who, can't communicate, can't harmonize, different origins and frequencies. Some of you guys are different. And you guys, this person, you're coming from completely different walks of life. And now some of you guys might have a great intimacy with someone, but, and they're obsessed with that. But because of your big, behind situation, right? But something about them, this person is dealing with something on a subconscious level that leaves them feeling victimized. If these are adversaries, enemies that have been struggling, to hold themselves responsible for their actions, they have not been doing that. They've been trying to swap destinies with you, and then trying to act, like they have not, like they've become enemies, and started in a power struggle because they wanted to, use you for character development, and then, wanted to take parts of your essence and aura. But they need to go through their own refining process. These people need to go through the process of removing impurities. They need to go through the process of refining their own character. It is not your responsibility, unless you are getting paid as a mentor, like as a guide, as a coach. You are not responsible to develop and refine someone's character. They want to steal your physical securities because it represents your essence and who you are. And a lot of these people, they wanted to leave you out. They wanted to get you exiled from communities. Some of these people have been on a smear campaign, telling lies. Some of these people have been stealing your ideas, stealing your intellectual property. These people can't do anything on their own. Especially people who want to do the same things as you. These people have realized from the beginning that you were the one, that you had a degree of physical security, that you had a degree of intellect. But these people, intelligence, right? And kind of going back to what we were talking about earlier, like most people don't want intelligence. They don't want to be connected to truth. And, if they do, they don't want to do the work and go through the refining process to do that. So they instead siphon you and enter a conflict. But a lot of these people are getting such negative repercussions for this destiny swapping. A lot of these people, they're the ones getting left out. They're the ones watching you have physical securities for life. They're the ones, they have no idea how to walk a mile in your shoes. Ex-partners sit and watch you and let you do all the work and trying to figure out, you know, what was the true cause of this hurt and getting your closure around it. A lot of them, they literally don't put any effort in whatsoever. Your skin is so beautiful and clear. It's a optical illusion. Thank you, though. Thank you. So I meet a devil. You indeed meet a devil. These people have very, very poor attachments. If these are other relationships, third parties that they're in, these people have very, very poor self-images. And the only reason that they stay in those relationships is because those are the relationships that they feel secure in. Some of them, the relationships already failed. They've already missed these opportunities of true love, because of their own selfish desires and their own, you know, limited belief and their own insecure attachments and problems with their caregivers, with their people who try to offer them comfort and support. These relationships have failed already, and they try to return because they have this wish and dream of making up for lost time or trying to, you know, fulfill some type of tradition that they've been holding in these long-term relationships. But these relationships have been abandoned, and the love has run dry. And it seems like they're just obsessed with the power struggle with you, so they run to dwell somewhere else to neglect you and persist in a conflict. These people do not really want these third parties. They're only there for physical security because some of them cannot manage their own finances. Some of them cannot, you know, cook themselves their own meal. They don't know how to, they don't have good hygiene. They don't know how to clean for themselves. They're very insecure and they have a very, very poor self-image. But a lot of these relationships that have failed, you know, they've clearly been in conflict, and they have not been, they've been left, really. Even if these people are still in their realities, those relationships they are the ones, you know, feeling rejected and abandoned by all their other options that fell through. These people don't really have any other options. These people are in very significant distress, especially now that especially with you. I definitely feel like these failed relationships were not true love anyway, but their opportunity with you, they're also squandering it, right? And, you know, trying to keep you as a second choice because they still have some desire to fulfill a tradition elsewhere from a failed relationship. Those relationships have already been lost. That's a sunk cost. They should not play a role in your future decision making about your life and what you should prioritize. I'm hearing you are their caregiver, but they have not been able to explore your relationship with confidence. So they go elsewhere. They're not getting taken care of by these people. These people don't care to take care of them. These people do not care to, you know, to do work for them. These people do not care to nurture them. But they're just holding on to these relationships and still dwelling in them because they're lacking trust and cannot explore with you because they've been in a power struggle. Some of even these lovers, they have been obsessed and they are in separation, and they have not even been able to communicate effectively. Some of them are very aware. Something in a cycle where you were with these individuals and they have not been, you know, forgiving. They have not been, you know, their heart has not been open or receptive towards you. because of their own power struggle and obsession with for control. Swadhisthana chakra, sacral chakra, governs the sexuality. I did not say that, oh, not root, that governs food and sleep. I honestly consider sexuality to be with Muladhara chakra as well as Swadhisthana chakra. I always say that Swadhisthana is for books, babies, and businesses. But I feel when it comes to sexuality, it could be representation of a lack of sacred sexuality. It can be a representation of a lack of security and a positive self-image. So I kind of feel like they can relate. I've been giving that a lot of thought because I've been looking at a lot of different sources about where sex resides in our chakra system. I've been staying open to it because I definitely feel like it can impact your sexuality, and if you are not self-secure, if you are not surviving, if you are not, which resides in the root chakra, right? That's how I feel. When you have a poor self-image of yourself, you cannot have secure attachments, which means you cannot procreate, have creation energy, not just babies, but just anything, right? Not giving birth to life, not giving people, or dissipating even. Okay? That's how I feel. It's nobody's job to meet your unrealistic expectations. Thank you, Brandon. Insecure people cannot follow the sacred flow of yes. They can't keep you, and they are lacking trust. These people they've been feeling very hurt because of their own unrealistic expectations. Something about them, you are very emotionally resilient. Something about you having compassion for them and allowing this person to, touch your heart, right? But these people try to act like you are a second choice. They try to act like you're a hobby. They try to act like you're not a matter of priority, because they have been projecting some type of unrealistic expectation of you getting hurt by something that you've been doing when you have been exercising your free will, focusing on your career. Some of them, they're in significant distress when you are, working on your career, right? These people who have been siphoning your beauty, and harvesting your energy, they suck you dry. Like I said, I feel like a lot of you people, you wondering if you should abandon them. A lot of people, this person is really struggling with a lack of trust with your relationship, because something about your dynamic is new and different. But you cannot allow these people to suck you dry. I feel like you guys do way better when you're away from them. Now, while you guys may have great intimacy, these people are not coming from a place of, they're not secure in these dynamics. Something about them, they could not get over you exploring your other options. They have been attached to other relationships where they've established some type of custom. They've been attached to other relationships where they have, shared beliefs and values. They've been attached to people and other relationships where they've had children with these people. Generational failures is what I'm hearing. I'm hearing their children suck. Failures. It's clear that they're very failed and very hurt. These competitors, they've been trying to they can't keep up with you. They've been trying to swap destinies with you, but now they're facing the negative impact of your destiny. All the things that you had to get around to get on the right path in life, right? So these people, they're losers. I don't think that you should, like I said, the tables are turning. Some of these people, they're going to feel very rejected and abandoned because they missed the opportunity of true love with you. And they have been left out everywhere else. These people where they think they have memories and values and children with them, These people have already abandoned them. They're not getting taken care of. They're not in these people's protective care, and they think that it's a physical security, but they are really an enemy. They're really in a conflict with these other people that they have been literally eroding and dissipating for. Some of these people are literally, they're decelerating and going backwards in life. Some of these people, if they're elderly at all, these people could have, if they would make the right decisions, you know, this, they would live for another 15 to 20 years. Some of these people, they have been literally, because they swap destinies and try to siphon you, they have literally shortened years on on their lives. I hate to say that, but that's, I've been getting a strong message very, very, intensely for the past couple of weeks. These people, but you have the dice coming out. It's very risky to say yes to you. It's very risky to explore you more. Something where they feel like they'll lose something. Some of them, they feel like they'll lose the children. They'll lose, their customs. They'll lose their generational memories or something like that. But this person realizes that those moments have passed. Those relationships have failed. They are not, these are not safe, secure, and nurturing environments, right? These traditions that they're trying, the traditions that they're trying to hold up with these people, those traditions don't exist anymore. Okay? And they've affected their family lineage doing spell work. They've literally, they're literally dwelling at the South Node. Generational failures is what they're creating. All of their family that's coming after you, their negative spell work, their negative destiny swapping, they're left very hurt. It may hurt you too, but you realize that this person, they have been treating you like, they've been not prioritizing and treating this as a matter that they should be tending to this with full cognizance. But instead, they have been investing in their other options where there's children involved or some type of, friend traditions or something like that. They feel like they risk losing, their traditions, but those traditions are no longer there. The well has run dry. And I feel like because of, something about you, you may be forgiving and having compassion of these people for their, for them having attachments to these customs and traditions. But some of them were deliberately disloyal to you because of a power struggle and lacking trust. You may forgive their disloyalty because you realize that something about your relationship was risky. Some of you guys don't have tradition with this person. You don't have children with this person. You guys have not established your shared beliefs, right? But whatever happened in this conflict that happened with you and this person, you are not left feeling like a victim. They are. Because it was a conscious choice to uphold these traditions, and they know that those wells, some of them, they know that those wells have run dry. I'm hearing they can't keep anything. They can't keep any physical securities. They can't keep a gorgeous girl. They just want to use them for character development. These insecure, like I said, these insecure people are dangerous. These are not relationships that you want. Fran, 100. They're dangerous, causing harm, causing injury, getting involved in crime, big accidents with these people because of they're so unstable and unable to explore your relationship from a safe place. And you are very protective, and you are very fierce protection. You're very nurturing. You are not the one holding on to resentment. You are unobstructed by these enemies. Some of these people that you've been, these seventh house partners, right? Because of how insecure they are, they're obsessed with trying to have control in the dynamic. And they have literally been causing harm to do that. not holding themselves responsible for them not being able to just trust and reside, you know, and give this relationship focus, give it direction, right? Instead, they suck you dry. You have a star quality about you that you don't want to lose with these energy vampires. Like I said, these people are dwelling at the south node. They're dissipating, eroding, decelerating in their lives. Enemies. Do not go back to, you know, these you know, jealous friends that have, you know, really been in conflict with you. You know you can't trust these friends either, right? They have been just attaching onto you because they realized that you had a great routine and a good life path. Somebody's name that starts with the letter A. Now these are the people who wanted to suck you dry and try to steal things from you and try to steal your identity, your aura, your essence. People who've been running around masquerading as you, trying to, you know, adopt your personality. They're now struggling with everything that you went through. Now they're the ones getting left out, feeling helpless, right? They're feeling so powerless and blame the external world. Some of you guys, you quite literally took away these people's reward, or you did something to help them understand where they have been, how they've been making you feel, right? If they've been treating you like a second choice, a hobby, and not a matter of priority, they're no longer a matter of priority to you. They're no longer, they're just a hobby to you. They're a second choice, third choice to you. Okay, damn right. I have 2 job offers. One is from Compuno, I don't know that one, and the other one is from Easting. Which should I choose? Well, I'd have no idea those 2 companies. You can give me a little bit more information about them, for one. But I definitely was reading this quote earlier today, is that, you know, pray for a job where there is a culture that you can feel comfortable and safe in. Okay? Go with the place that you feel will give you a better, that is a good cultural fit. And both are staffing companies. Staffing companies, they kind of just like, those are like third party staffing. Like, that's what I think of when I think of a staffing company. I think about a company that does hiring and staffing for, like, as a, like, as in it, that like is outsourced. Their staffing is outsourced from other countries. I mean, other companies. So they're both doing the same thing, right? That's what I thought. So they're both the same thing. I mean, I would not say go with the one that is, you know, has the most money. Maybe do a little bit more research on it. You know, have you gotten tours of the work environment? Have you met any of your colleagues, coworkers? These are things I wish I would have done before accepting certain job offers. You know, making sure you negotiate, making sure making sure that you have you get the offer that is going to set you up for success. So that's what I'm getting for today, you guys. Let's get the tarot in, okay? You have a star-like quality that you need to protect from these siphoners. These people who cannot hold themselves responsible for their actions. They may come in for, you know, because they actually love your dynamic, but they're so unsure and untrusting of it. They often do something unsafe and dangerous to harm the connection, right? Some of them, they have been attached elsewhere and not able to make you a priority. Go with the flow of life and be open to change, okay? Both are good, okay, but I'm confused. Okay. How long do you have until you're able to make a decision? Okay, you are not the one being left a victim in this situation from these enemies who want to steal your aura and essence. You're not obstructed by these people who want to steal wealth. You're not obstructed by these people who wanted to siphon you for your beauty and use you for character development. These people have had hidden motives, and they're just shocked by your intense beauty. If you've reached a dead end with these people, there's no spiritual new beginning. It's because they're now getting left out, right? You cannot meet someone with the same energy. You cannot reciprocate. You cannot explore in a safe way in this relationship. They may be different, right? A different dynamic than you're used to. An unconventional relationship, perhaps, right? This person isn't able to harmonize your new origin and frequency. They feel so threatened by it. And they know that you are, you're handling this situation with a lot of ease and grace, and they see you enjoy. Some of you can't even be joyful around these people because they're so in conflict with you. Definitely more protective of my energy. Please. I had to learn to protect myself more. I did too. And sometimes you don't even realize how you're getting overly impacted by these people because there may be something where you're lacking discernment. You're lacking awareness, right? We have the moon coming out. Some of this stuff is more obscure, more on a subconscious level, especially this person. The reason they're not able to take accountability for their actions is because they don't want to face some uncomfortable truths and bring them from their subconscious mind into their consciousness. Some of them, all they have to do is say yes, and they can have you morning, noon, and night. They're obsessed with your body. They want to have you so bad, right? But this person has been in a power struggle, and they let their egoic pursuits and selfish, intense desires to overwhelm them, and some of them are unforgiving and holding on to resentment for something to happen, right? Some of these people want everything that you have, but they don't want to go through the refining process in order to get there. They want access to your amazing star quality, right? But they don't want to do the work to keep it. Some of them, they flee after getting a dose of you and go back to something where they feel more secure and go back to something where they've been holding up a tradition. I'm hearing you represent them being lucky. You represent a lucky opportunity. You represent something that they should just throw that dice and take that gamble real quick, right? But they're still lacking trust. They don't want to take that gamble. Some of them, they know that this will lead them to more abundance. They know that life will be better with you. But they're still attached to failed relationships because of a tradition and a custom and children. Because they're so insecure and not trusting with you. They're not working for it either. Some of them, they just was obsessed with watching you, obsessed with your hobbies, your life, your routine, right? If these were roommates living in the same house as you, they would not get up and take a shower or something like that. Something about you had a great routine, and people just wanted to make you feel left out or make you see you struggle through something. But they're the ones getting all the negative backlash. Something about these people, if these are romantic partners, they have been so instinctually drawn to you that your comfort and intimacy needed no rational explanation. But they have been choosing to hold on to resentment and not wanting to say yes to this gamble of love and comfort and ease, and because of some type of power struggle or something like that. This person has been causing injuries, harming, big accidents, big mistakes, taking a lot of naive risk in your unconventional relationship. But you have compassion for some of them, and you're a little impatient. I'm not going to say that it's over, because some of you guys, your sexual relationship is so powerful that it helps you guys rebuild trust and helps you guys explore each other and feel more safe, because this person has literally not been feeling safe. They've been fighting and in a power struggle, right? Some of them have been the ones playing victim, and they have literally had, not been dealing with these, shadow attachments. They've literally been the devil. They have had these shadow attachments, and they have not been, because they are fearing losing those traditions. Well, those traditions are no longer there, for one. This is all some great illusion and wishful thinking. Some of these people are literally not connected to reality of these relationships. They're very scarce and abandoned. They're literally realizing something about maybe their intimacy with you. They finally gain the awareness that some of them, they realize that they have not been in the protective care of their family. They have not been, some of them have been struggling with the injury, have been struggling with their physical securities, and their families have left them out. They refute Peter Pan syndrome, refusing to grow up. Hello, Benjamin? Hello. So much evil eye from your romantic partners. They have been jealous of your power and your contentment and happiness. For some of them, they represent a failed, they're just a failure, and they see you as this very successful person who is compassionate and inspired, right? We have the Sun in the reverse. Let's wrap. The Eight of Cups and the Six of Cups reverse. That's so confirming, right? We have the Three of Pentacles. Now, I definitely feel like, you know, you have to have patience. If this is something that you want to work on, you have to have patience, because this person, like I was getting confirmed earlier, this person has been, you know, causing a lot of sadness and depression. This person, I definitely feel like this is a temporary depression. This is a temporary dynamic. This aimlessly drifting and not following through on their option with you is very depressing, because this person has still been gambling in this connection, because they have been living in the past about something where they grew up with people, or, you know, they want to go hang out with people their own age, or they need space because they're still living in the past. And, you know, these people have not resolved, you know, these past struggles, and they don't want to take responsibility for their actions in them. So they never resolve these feelings and lack of closure. Peter Pan. Grow up. Things are not how they used to be with these relationships, and they're definitely not how they used to be with you. A lot of these people need to stand up to a challenge and setback in your relationship. But you haven't been powerless in blaming others. You've been very compassionate about this person, right? And the fact that they've been drifting and not fulfilling in this relationship is causing a lot of instability, right? You guys have not been achieving together because of some excess feelings of hurt, and they don't want to take responsibility for, you know, their part in not fulfilling the agreement. Take responsibility for your own actions, right? Don't keep, you know, living in the past about, you know, this situation as well. You wish that you can go back to the way things used to be before you had these new challenges with them. These people are not, you know, I'm hearing something about you have an emotional need that this person is not fulfilling. This could have left you feeling down and out as well. But you understand that this person hasn't had, you know, they needed to reconcile and, you know, find their closure at other places. This person has a history of failed relationships and situations, and your compassion for them helps you, you know, you work with this person, but it's kind of like one-sided charity. This person hasn't been giving back, haven't been achieving with you. I don't feel like these people are deserving. Some of you guys, you stripped them of the reward, and now they feel very victimized because they have not been able to, something about your access to your body and your abundance and what you bring to the table. These people actually needed you. These people need you, right? Because they've been some, you know, you guys have been working through a business offer negotiations or something like that, working through some type of contract. Some of you guys, you're working on making, you know, you're considering marriage with these people. Some of you, you know, especially if you know the relationship is on that level, you know, this person has not been fulfilling and making decisions, right? They definitely don't want to lose your option, but they are not achieving and successfully exploring the relationship and satisfying your emotional needs because they have been attached elsewhere. Focus on your own career. Don't let these people suck you dry. If this is a partner that's not cooperating, this is not a partner that you need to be investing in. You guys have you have a star-like quality that you cannot afford to lose by letting someone who's living in the past irrational decision making with sunk cost. Someone who can't negotiate, someone who can't communicate effectively, someone who can't make decisions. They're supposed to be protecting and cherishing. But because of their own decision makings, they're now experiencing decelerations. Some of them are choosing to making conscious decisions to hold on to resentment, and they are left there because of their own irrational beliefs. Okay, friends? He chose his friends in the third-party situations over me. The door permanently closed to him. Yeah, I just removed myself completely and moved on, healing and opening to new opportunities. Please, if these people are choosing traditions, customs, people were, third parties, situations over you, they know that these relationships are karmic. They know that these relationships are failures. These are shadow attachments that they have in insecurity. Those relationships represent their insecurities. Those relationships represent their pain and shame. Their decision to choose those other options and timelines over you, they have previously been there, and they have been illogically attached to, these, the way things have always been. That makes them a conformist. That makes them at the South Node. Okay, friends? They would have to take that risk of losing a tradition of failure. It's not like they're succeeding and thriving over there. They're not succeeding and thriving. They're out exploring other options and timelines. They are missing their opportunity tremendously. This is because of a power struggle. They're hurt by something. Some of them are hurt by something that they're very triggered by you. They don't want to trust their instincts with you. They don't want to trust taking a leap of faith in a new direction with you, where they will be protected, nurtured. They know that you provide a safe and nurturing environment. These other relationships they are not. They may have an illusion that they are protected. They may have an illusion, right? But those relationships have failed, and now they're failing with you as well. Okay? This is his hard lesson to learn. They definitely have a hard lesson to learn, right? I hope that makes sense. I had a lot of notes today. So, these people have been sitting back, watching you, letting you do all the work. They're siphoning, trying to develop their character, and then they use it to go explore their other options. It is not your responsibility to refine them. It is not. You're welcome. It is not your responsibility to refine them. It's not your responsibility to teach them. Some of them, they feel very rejected and abandoned by you because you have closed this door on them and you have not been nurturing with them. But something about, the collective is tired, you guys. We don't need to be training anybody up. Come healed, come trained, come ready, right? They have been relying on you to teach them and to help them understand. They want access to this amazing thing, but they don't want to do the work for it. And if you're not doing the work for them, then they're just so egoic and angry. Some of them, they have a hidden motive around coming around you. They just want to take, you for practical, reasons. And, but there's really a dark side to this situation, right? That's what I feel, friends. You guys have a great life through the 10th house. Great options ahead of you. These people will struggle because they think that they have protective care and memories and traditions and feelings of family with these ex-partners and, friends, where there's children, where they've been tied to children or something like that. they have been under a heavy illusion of their support. They would rather live in that delusion because they don't want to come to the realization that they're the ones that have been actually left out. But they have been left out because of their own decision making. They come into conflicts and power struggles, and you know, with everybody, because they're never wanting to take responsibility for their own well-being. These are not people that you want. They seem like greater burdens. They bring more burdens than they do happiness and cooperation. Now, while you might have this intimacy, or you may have some type of, you know, there may be some type of collaborative effort. Some of this may be just for, you know, something that involves a legal matter, something that is practical, involves money, or involves marriage. You know, it feels like one-sided charity. It feels like a very imbalanced relationship. This person is not making in the same accommodations and not making the same. They're letting you do all the work. They're not truly collaborative, right? They're really, you know, you guys are still negotiating. You need to make sure you get some of you guys are still negotiating. You need to get a fair deal. And, you know, you guys have new challenges and new setbacks. And this person, they need to earn it. They need to work for it. Some of them, they're not, you know, they're not looking like they deserve it. And because they haven't been open to change, because they're so stuck in the past. If that's where you want to live, if that's where you want to dwell, in the past. Some of these people are not upfront about this. Some of these people are hiding behind a facade and just trying to use you for something, okay? God is so good to me. Affirm, yes. Hell yes, we tired, okay? They just want my energy. No, you can't. You want nice things, but you don't want to do the work for them. These people are very lazy. Some of them, they failures at life. They have not established careers. They don't have a proper retirement. These people are not open to change. They're not flexible. They don't go with the flow, right? Some of them, they stuck in these traditions and these divorce situations or something like that, and you're just not very patient about, you know, any of this, because you know that they already reflect failures. They're already ended. They're already over. But it's not your job to teach or refine them, friends, okay? Let's go ahead and grab your healing mantra, and then we will wrap. They left feeling hurt because you are not nurturing them and doing the things you used to do for them. But they were not, you deserve to be in a relationship that's balanced. They're not making accommodations. They're not working, putting in the work. They're expecting you to do everything. Friends, grow. Wait for the right person to come around. Okay, definitely leave and take your energy away from this person, because they are literally giving narcissistic energy. Okay, refusing, they will not hold themselves accountable for their actions. They will not come into present reality, right? They don't want to face the music. Some of them, they don't want to face the music that they have been abandoned by their family. Okay, illuminating the truth, right? I am willing to see things clearly no matter the outcome. See the situation clearly, right? If someone is not present, not open to change, not receptive, not communicating effectively, see the situation clearly. If you're not feeling safe, understood, you have an emotional need and this person is not available, they're not, that means you're not a matter of their priority. I am willing to see things clearly, no matter the outcome. Things are different now. Time to embrace change. Been single for 7 years till I found the right man. Amen. I'm so happy for you. Be single for as long as you need to be. And don't get caught up in trying to keep up some type of tradition with somebody who is clearly a failure. I'd rather be in solitude than to erode and dissipate with you. Okay, friends? I love you so much. It was my honor to reach your energies. I will see you until next time.